MLB community, I noticed a little bit of a trend on Twitter and Instagram. And by the way, if you're not already following me on Twitter and Instagram, really quickly, links are down below in the description. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I've been stuck at like the same place on Instagram for like a year. Go ahead and follow your boy. I like to do giveaways once we hit nice even numbers, so I'll just DM you some PSN codes, maybe a $10 PSN code, a $20 PSN code, or a $50. Pause. We're not balling like that. $10, $20 PSN codes. Go ahead and make sure you follow. If there's like 400 of you who haven't followed me already, all right, enough self-promo. But anyways, guys, there was a little bit of a trend on Twitter and Instagram that I had noticed a couple days ago, where the MLB community was trying to band together to strike MLB The Show 18. Now, I'm being honest. There are things I genuinely enjoy about MLB 18, and there's some things that I'm not completely happy about the direction the game is taken, because I know what they're doing. In these next videos I'm gonna be posting, I'm gonna go a little bit further into depth into what I think they're doing, what I think they're doing right, and what I think they're doing wrong, and what they can take from other communities to try to head in the right direction, because there's some things that they're not doing correctly. But anyways, you can already tell by the title it is that there's a lot of people who are banding together and going back and playing MLB The Show 17 and MLB 16. Now, if you are like me, you played these games when it was 2015, 2016, 2017, and then you started playing MLB 18 in late March or April, and now. Well, the thing is that in the time that those games were out, these same people who were complaining about the game now, myself included, we were complaining about the current game. In MLB 15, it was very laggy game. It was an incredibly laggy game. The servers were not great. MLB 16 and 17, the first month or two of the game's life cycle, online play was nearly unplayable. From 16 to 17, we had a tremendous increase in content. So shout out to the team for all the work that they do in the content. I know the content in MLB 18, it's still a new year. Wow, I was really cheesing with the lefties. I feel like you kind of had to. But I feel like from the content in 18, it's still getting better. It's just the way you get the programs. I'm not the biggest of fans, but that to me is not the biggest issue into why people are playing 16 and 17 when there's a new game out. I mean, personally, I have these games installed just in case I ever want to do like a Throwback Thursday type of thing, but you will not catch me playing a sports title that is in the past. I'm really not a fan of really playing old games, except for NCAA 14 because it's the last of its kind and it's an amazing game, or if I had a PS2 or Xbox and I had MVP Baseball. EA, please bring that game back. Now, to me, if I were to go back, here's what I'm going to explain the differences. Pretty much in, 15, we're going to leave it out of the question, even though to me, that was probably the cleanest game of Diamond Dynasty once the servers were a little bit more stabilized. But the difference between 16 and 17 is, to me, when I see 17, I see a game that finally had a very good amount of content, and 16 was just a very clean game. And 15 would probably, to me, be the cleanest, where, honestly, if I played against someone who was better than me, I was going to lose. And if I was better than someone, I was going to win. And that's just how I felt for the most part. If I played my game and I didn't make many mistakes, I knew if I was going to win or not, depending on who my opponent was. So now that MLB 17 is in the past and we're on MLB 18, I'm going to go through some of my, my lineup, and you guys look at it, and I'm going to explain a couple things. In MLB 18, I think the issue that everyone's having, myself included, is that no one knows what's going to happen on any swing. No one knows what to expect on a particular swing. You can square a ball up on a power swing, dead center PCI, green, good, and you have no idea what the result is going to be. You don't even know if you're going to hit the ball cleanly, because sometimes you just miss it. And I get that. In real life, it does happen where you put a perfect swing on the ball and you just miss it by a millisecond, and it becomes a pop-up straight in the infield, or a ball that you just miss hitting out of a ballpark. But the thing is that it seems that is far more common than what we think as the guys in the community, the guys playing the game. It happens far more common than we think it should. Now, are we right about that? Maybe not, but I think so. You would think that in a video game that tries to simulate, real-life baseball, you would think that if you square a ball up, chances are you're going to hit the ball very hard and with authority. That is the number one thing in baseball. No one's asking that the ball drop 40% of the time. We're just asking that if we hit the ball consistently with good contact, that the ball is hit pretty hard. But it doesn't seem that way. And the biggest issue with that is that it seems that being good with the ball in the middle isn't the best thing to do. It's not where you get the best results. In MLB 17, we figured it out that the best results were for balls where you were just late. Now, I did get into my theory of monitor lag and catering to the casual, but in MLB 17, it did feel like that way. If you were just late on a ball, you were registering balls being hit at 120 miles an hour sometimes, or if you were good, you know, sometimes some hitters would not be able to hit the ball, you know, over 100 miles per hour, which is incredible, but it was much higher rate of success when you were just late. Now, granted, I did just go through all my batting averages. I don't think a single player except for George Brett, who I was trying out, is batting under 300. And you say, oh, well, everyone on your team's a 99. This is towards the end of the year. Everyone has all 99 squads, and everyone has had rotations just like mine, where it was guys who were lefty and were filthy. And look at these ERAs. You can tell that there was more of a skills gap in MLB The Show 17 than there was in MLB 16. And I was playing against for the most part, World Series players until the end, where I was just like, I don't really care. But these are all sub-2 ERAs with very good pitchers, and everyone had very similar teams. So the skill gap is created then by the players. Since everyone has similar teams, that is not where the skill gap is. It is now in the player. Now, here is to me where this game finally took off. And you know what? There was the predecessor. It was great too, but it was missing a couple things. But this is finally where it finally became something. The reason there's a lot of people playing MLB 16, I kind of get this one a little bit more. The rating system. Getting to a 2,000 rating system in MLB The Show 16 actually meant something. You actually had to compete, and it was very difficult to get into World Series. Honestly, I didn't do it until like right before MLB 17 came out, and I would try over and over again, and it was just very hard because, truth be told, there was a pretty big skills gap in this game. We did also have the introduction to Battle Royale. I believe this was still 25 games to get there. I got 12-0 once, and 19-2 was the farthest I ever made it. I don't think you needed to win 21 games. Never won 21 games. Battle Royale, incredibly difficult, but there was a skills gap. There was a noticeable skills gap. When you got to the first 12 games, it was very difficult. You came up against a difficult opponent. For you to win those 20 games. For you to get to those 20 games, it was entirely difficult, but you felt that you were in control of a Battle Royale run. Honest to God, I jump into Battle Royale now, and I have no idea what is going on. I have no idea. I don't know. I just don't know what is going on. In this game, you knew what swings were going to produce results, and you just knew what cards were better tailored for you. There was just a better understanding of this game. This is right before ball physics was introduced. Now, I don't have a problem with ball physics. I know with all engines, it takes time for the game for a developer to take a different engine and, you know, perfect it. Like, the thing is, what was it? When FIFA, you started using Frostbite, and then I think 2 years later, Madden started using Frostbite. There was a gap, I believe it was FIFA 14, where it did not play the same. It played very goofy. Madden especially, guys were bending at the waist in half. It looked really goofy, and it took some time for the developers to get it adjusted. But now we're on year 2 of ball physics, and there are some things that they added that make it seem a lot more realistic, but it's affecting gameplay and the way we play, and there's just some things that, truth be told, they're just broken. They're broken. The PCI, broken. Fielding, and I'm gonna make a video on that one as well, broken. But I have a feeling I know why these things are broken. But also, not only that, in this game, we also have the greatest player of all time, Reggie Soccer, aka Barry Bonds, and we don't have that. We haven't had that in a year. Hopefully this is the year they bring him back. MLB 16's biggest and probably, you know, what killed it from making it a great game was the servers. In the beginning of the year, it was also unplayable. There was a lot of hype around this game. People jumped on the server. People from other communities who were bored at the time, FIFA, Madden, etc., 2K, they came on to play MLB The Show, and they broke the server. MLB The Show could not handle that. The great thing about MLB 18 is we had a little bit of a hiccup in the first day for a couple hours. It's been great since. I don't get any server errors. The whole memes of all, they're done. And if it meant online franchise being gone, yeah, but I would like I don't want a mode to be sacrificed for you to make something work. Please just find a way to fix it. You didn't fix it, you just put a band-aid on it. And to be honest, it did not take me very long to find a game at all. There's definitely people on this game. I don't even have button accuracy on. See, the thing about it is that I do believe in some randomness. There are things in baseball that you just can't explain. The thing about it is that when someone, like I said, when someone does square a ball up, you know that you're more likely to hit the ball with some authority. And that's all as a community we want. And I'm gonna be honest, I've thrown like 5 pitches in this, and I honestly, I don't know, I like this. I miss Carl Crawford. This was one of my favorite cards in the game. This Carl Crawford was so OP. Speedy guys with power. Carl Crawford, listen man, I'm telling you, maybe I should be playing MLB 16 more. This game is just phenomenal. Ooh, good timing, squared it up on the PCI, a little bit under it, and I hit a home run. That's all we want. Maybe this is why people are playing this game.
Gotta be careful not to give up yet another home run here in this inning. So you can see they're approaching.
I am being rewarded for my swings. I am being rewarded for my swings. I miss this game. you did get injured a lot if you were diving around like an idiot. I don't think that happens anymore. So in literally one 3-inning BR game, I have to give my thoughts. This is a game that is 2 years past its cycle. We've had 17 and 18. This is 16. From the get-go, I knew I was in control. I knew I was better than my opponent. Even when he got a leadoff base hit in the 3rd inning, I knew that with my pitch sequences and with what I was doing, there was no way I was giving up a run or another hit. I only got 2 innings to hit. I got 2 hits, and in the 2nd inning, I was swung at 3 pitches, 3 outs, just to get out of the game as quickly as possible because I knew I was better than my opponent, and it showed. Would I go back and play this game full time? Absolutely not. Like I said, I don't go back and play games, but it's noticeable. If you're actually playing to be competitive, MLB 16 is far more superior than 18, and it is slightly better than 17, probably a little more than slightly better than 17 as well. Now, until I opened this game up, I had completely forgotten that MLB The Show had turned off the servers for MLB 15 sometime last year. I remember because I tried to make a video on MLB 15, but this was the game that got it all started for Diamond Dynasty. Of course, Diamond Dynasty had been around, but it was a completely different game mode. Finally, in 15, San Diego Studios realized that they needed to adapt a little bit. They made a phenomenal game mode. I believe at the time there were only 30 legends. I believe 16 had 60 and 17 had 90. I don't know if 18 has 120. I don't know, but I know they only had 30. But it was a great game. It was a great card collecting game. And it was a lot of fun. But the gameplay online lacked a little bit. The servers were not great. They weren't stable. But this is what got it all started for everyone. Now, I do want to talk to a couple guys on both ends of the spectrum. I want to get to know, because I'm sure they both saw that people were migrating to older games. I want to know why they did play MLB 17 and 16 and why they didn't. So first, we're going to hop on with Serenity. Now, Serenity is a YouTuber known for his fro. I'm going to leave his link down below in the description. Make sure you guys go ahead and check him out. And I'm also going to have JV from Twitch down there below. So make sure you guys go ahead and spam them with some subs. Alright, so here we are joined with Serenity. Now, Serenity, you got anything to say to people out there? A little shout out.
So, first of all, if you haven't, you should also subscribe to Gyvi. You know, he's a pretty cool guy. But if you want to go ahead and check out my channel, I'm a little sick right now, so videos are on a delay. But once it's all healed, I should have a bunch of videos coming now. So if you want to go ahead, go sub to me. It'd be pretty greatly appreciated, but yeah.
Like I said, guys, link is in the description. Make sure you guys go ahead and check them out. Now, Serenity, I do have a little bit of a question now. Basically, I noticed a couple weeks ago now, that a couple people had been migrating back to some of the older games, just more tested out, and some people felt indifferent about the current game. Now, you yourself said you went back and you played a couple games of 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what were your thoughts and opinions on that? Why did you go back to play MLB 16?
First of all, this playing online in MLB 18 is probably the most annoying thing I've ever done, honestly. It's very RNG based. I've heard a lot of great things about 16. I actually didn't play 16 that much, because that's when I kind of transitioned from being a franchise guy to DD full-time. So I wasn't that good, and so now I'm a lot better than I was before. So I wanted to try out, see what everyone's saying about the hitting system. You know, people said it's so much better, like you actually get rewarded and all that stuff. So I already had the game, so I just installed it again, played a couple games of BR, played one ranked game. I didn't have my full stack squad because I quick sold it all, unfortunately, but still had a couple good golds. I can say I do have a couple clips on Twitter from the BR game I played. the good contact when I actually was able to square a ball, when I took a couple games to adjust, of course, because pitch speeds are actually, faster and, what they should be. And it's just a little laggier than 18 because the server's stability, of course, isn't that great compared to 18.
Right.
But when I did square up a ball, I actually got rewarded, and it was probably the best feeling ever. It's like I put hard work into actually putting my PCI on a good, right in the middle of the ball, right where it's supposed to be, and it's either it was a single, it was at least hit into the outfield. It wasn't a pop up, it wasn't a ground ball. I mean, you can't have squared up ground balls, but it wasn't as frequent, as 18.
Right. Now, I literally just played a game of BR on 16, and I thought I pitched pretty well, and my opponent was unable to hit me. And then my first at bat, I come up to bat, pitch down and away, not in the best location, put the PCI on it with flashback Carl Crawford, hit a home run to the opposite field, and I said, wow, I actually got rewarded. The PCI back then had a color to let you know if you put the PCI in the right location. It was green, yellow, or red, and the timing as well was good, green, and I hit a home run in the opposite field direction, and it felt great to be rewarded. And that's pretty much what I feel is all the community wants, is, a little less randomness, and a little, not saying that every single time you square up a ball you want a home run, not every single time, because that's not
definitely
baseball.
not what we want. Yeah,
exactly. But it seems that what is being rewarded is not what, good is not. It's not what being rewarded. It's just extremely random. So the other thing, did you take any look at like the rewards in 16 and stuff like that?
Yeah, I actually took a bit to look at all the flashbacks, because I haven't touched that game, of course, in 2 years. So I was looking at the missions and all that, the collection rewards, looking at what we had to do for conquests. It was like, the inning grind is so much worse than it is. And this year they really, when they had tips, they hired tips towards the end of 16. Actually, I believe pretty much the end of 16. The content just got so much better, and the game really improved vastly in that part. And then honestly, when they introduced ball physics, it kind of went downhill with the hitting engine and all that stuff.
See, now that's something I agree with. Now, I'm not saying that, ball physics is something they should stray away from. I get why it's, you're trying to make it as realistic as possible.
Yeah,
I get that. I get that no engine is perfect on the first year. And like I had mentioned, that, Madden, EA with Madden and 2K, when they introduced Frostbite, at first it wasn't perfect. It took them a year or two to get it down packed. But it seems that from 17 to 18, I feel like we took a step backwards with ball physics. And not only did we take a step backwards with ball physics, we also broke the fielding engine. And the reason I say that is because just like ball physics was introduced, a new engine was introduced to fielding, and I'm not sure if a new engine was introduced, but I definitely know they made some tweaks to try to make it more competitive. But in doing that, they've essentially broken fielding.
Yeah,
as well.
I don't know how they did it, honestly. Like, fielding was bad. Like, the catcher animations were absolutely terrible in 17.
Right.
They're perfect now, but when they did that, everything else just completely broke.
Right. So overall, you said you didn't play that much 16.
Yeah, I played a couple
to me,
games.
I feel like you're probably in the same boat as me. You won't necessarily go back and play 16. It's not something you're going to do, especially as a content creator. You're not going to be making content on a game that's 2 years old. But it's noticeable that if you want to be competitive and you want to play a game a little bit more seriously for wins and stuff, 16 is just, at this point, it's a better, more rewarding game than 18 is. Can you agree on that?
Oh, I completely agree. 100%.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today, Serenity. Really appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me on.
Anything else you want to add on?
If you haven't liked the video already, go ahead and like the video, if you enjoyed this.
Smash the thumbs up.
Definitely do that.
All right, really appreciate you stopping by, Serenity. Thank you very much.
Oh, man, thanks for having me on.
No problem. All right, so we are here with JV. JV, I actually have a couple questions that I made sure not to ask you because I just wanted it to be a little bit genuine. So sorry if I drop a bomb on you, but these questions are gonna be pretty simple. JV, just say what's up to the people before I hit you with it.
What's up, everybody?
All right, so JV, in the last couple of weeks, I've noticed there was a little bit of a trend, and everyone in the MLB community, of course, you're one of the prominent guys in the MLB community, been around for a little bit, one of the more respected streamers, for sure. Is there any reason why everyone went back to playing MLB 17 and 16?
I think it's more so because of the PCI and hitting mechanics. I think that they feel that it's more rewarding, and it's more true, and a better overall gameplay as far as head-to-head goes. Obviously, I think content and such is better when it comes to 18, and as far as what they offer us with different programs and immortals, so on and so forth. But I feel, especially with the competitive community, these guys who like to play, PvP and, want to climb the leaderboard, so on and so forth. I feel that they think there's a bigger skill gap, in games like 16 and maybe even 17 compared to this year in 18. So they're starting to do it. I don't know if they're starting to do a trend. However, I think that they're trying to play something that they, one, will enjoy a little bit more, and two, something that has a bigger, competitive skill gap, between, let's say a guy like Magunsky and myself, right. For example, if you guys know who those, if you guys know who Magunsky is.
Oh, I think everyone knows. You yourself, you went back, right?
I have not. No, I haven't even downloaded.
You have not. You haven't even tried thinking about testing the waters. So why are you one like myself? I'm genuinely opposed to it. So why are you opposed to it?
I just, I'm a guy who likes new content. I'm a guy that likes new gameplay. I'm a guy that likes the new. I just can't see myself going back and a year-old game, a 2-year-old game that doesn't have different rewards, that doesn't have new content that I can be obtaining via missions, via the grind. A part of what makes MLB The Show great for me is the grind. And with it only being out for a month and a half, 2 months, I'm still working towards so much new content that I want to get my hands on, and I feel like it would almost be a waste of time, so we're saying.
See, like me, the only sports game at least that I could consider myself even going back to, and I think this is the answer for just about anyone, is NCAA Football 14. I feel like that's the only game that I could go back to and actually have fun, and that's just because it was the last game to come out for that. Same thing with games like I could go back and play MVP Baseball. I can go back and play MVP 05 and have fun with it. But to me, going back to a game like you said that's already a couple years old, there's already been a couple cycles between 16 and 18, new content, it's already stuff that I've already done. I don't understand it, but that's where to me it kind of separates. And I don't want to lump you into a casual or competitive guy, but like for me, I say I'm a casual content creator. I want content so that I can create for the people who are watching. And to be honest, most of the people who are watching me don't want to see 2-year-old content. But for like you said, the competitive guys, the Magunskys, the pitching rebels, those guys that are there to win and to beat up on the people like me, 17 and 16 make a little bit more sense. So it's come to a situation where it seems like why is the competitive edge being removed from a game? You would think they would be increasing it more and more, making it more difficult as all sports games and all video games in general are heading towards E-League and being esports ready. To me, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially with almost every other sports genre already hitting the esports scene, you would think that MLB The Show, would be striving to do so. Plus, that at the end of the day, that would make them more money in the long run as well.
Right.
But it feels like we're almost taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
Right.
The last 2 years, and it sucks to see, especially as a content guy myself. I'm not really on the YouTube scene, but it affects us. People don't think it. When we complain or if we have a gripe or if we just want to see great things or we just want to see a great game, because at the end of the day it's good for both sides, not only us
Right.
as content creators, but SDS and MLB The Show in itself.
Right. I mean, you can see it all across the community. I've spoken to a lot of different people, both on YouTube and Twitch. I'll say when I first started making content in 16, I couldn't wait to play this game. And now it's a matter of I psych myself up to play the game. I'll record a little bit or stream a little bit or whatever the case may be. And then after a couple things, it's not losing, because I have no problem losing. Losing to me makes for great content. But when, you know, things that are out of your control happen in a game, it sort of deters me from wanting to play the game even more.
Right.
And it's so, I mean, I don't know what SDS's plan is. Maybe they have a bigger picture than we do. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully we see it soon, because it seems like this is the most the community has been upset about gameplay. In the past, I'd say the biggest issue were servers. It did a phenomenal job on the servers, but now it seems that we're able to play, and a lot of people just don't want to play.
Yeah, I mean, and you can see it with numbers alone. I know I've talked to a couple of people, you know, in the YouTube community who say, you know, numbers are down almost 33%, you know, this time of year than last. And I can tell you for sure that numbers are down here on the Twitch side. And, you know, it sucks to see, not only because, you know, we're trying to build a big community, you know, in MLB The Show itself, you know, YouTube, Twitch, you know, everybody combined, you know, we just want to see great things. And it just seems like it's getting worse. And it sucks to see. It really does.
Right. Well, JV, I appreciate you for taking the time to speak with me. JV, you're going live pretty soon. And make sure to leave his Twitch link down below. Make sure you guys go ahead and check him out. Anything you want to say? Anything else?
No, man. Thanks for having me. This was awesome.
No problem. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yep. Guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on the whole situation, the 17 and 16. If you guys follow me on Twitter, which you should, at JV World, and Instagram, go ahead, follow. But if you do, you probably saw a couple days ago when this was happening. I tweeted out something about everyone playing MLB 16 and 17. You're all plebs. I may have been drinking a little bit, and I just was scrolling through Twitter while out at the bar. So I do apologize for that, but no. But I do get why some people were playing this. It's not something I would do long term. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts down below, your thoughts and opinions. Kind of got both sides, and I just want to know how you guys feel down in the comment section below. And other than that, yeah, catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine.
I sip the Dom P, watching Gandhi.